Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sima and today I will be doing a YouTube tag. It's like 3 in the morning. I filmed a video where I did my makeup, then decided that video was going to be entirely voiceover because I hated the stuff I talked about in it. It was still a serious subject matter that I was stream of consciousness rambling about, and I realized I was talking about subject matter that I think was very serious and very important to me, and I wanted to make sure I did that subject matter its due diligence. And so I decided I'm just gonna scrap like the actual content of the video and just voice over what I'm doing to my face and like speed through it. But I still want to post it because I really like how the makeup look turned out. And since I figured I like how the makeup look turned out, and also my hair just looks really good today, like that was the whole reason I wanted to film a video, even though I didn't have like a plan for one, was just my hair looked really good. And I want you guys to see my hair when it looks good because sometimes it looks really bad. So I did my makeup, my hair looked good, looked like the waves were nicer than usual. And so I figured I would film a video, and then I decided since my makeup look turned out pretty good except for like the liner being uneven, I'm happy with how it came out. So I figured we're gonna do 2 videos and then we'll have some editing to do. This is gonna be shorter than most of my other videos, I think, so hopefully that's good. I decided to just do a tag. Tags are easy. This is the Get to Know Me YouTube tag on a website called mamacatslosingit.com. Mama Cat, I hope you're not losing it. I hope you are having a good time. So we're gonna do this tag, we're gonna answer these questions. Hopefully it helps even my friends. I think I think these are just questions you don't really ask people, so maybe it'll help my friends get to know me better too. I don't know, we'll see. So let's just dive right in. So question number 1 is, what is your middle name? My middle name actually is Sima, or I guess it's technically the second part of my first name, but before I realized that, in my head I had it as my middle name, so I just refer to it as my middle name. Everyone's always called me Sima, my parents, friends. It's never like, it wasn't like I had a first name and then I transitioned to this. Like, it's always been Sima. I'm not going to share my actual first name just because it's spelled weird, and it's make it like I don't even know if you could use that stuff for nefarious purposes, but just in case, I'm not going to put it on the internet, at least not yet. So question number 2 is, share your favorite subject in high school. I feel like I was always good at English, so I want to say English just because like I love to read. Reading was my jam, and I was really good at writing stuff. Math, I was always like good at high school in general, but like math and science sort of in like grades 11 and 12 started to become a bit of a struggle for me. English was never a problem. Like I always coasted in English, and so I think because it was easy for me, English was always my favorite. I think in terms of what was most interesting though, in grade 12, which was like the first year I got to kind of like choose electives because I moved around so much, I was finally in a school where I could actually pick electives. I really enjoyed my law class. Like I loved law. It made me take law in my first year of university, and then I realized I hated university law, but my actual grade 12 law class, I was excellent in that class, and I genuinely adored it. I loved that class. It was so good. Question number 3 is, what is your favorite drink? I don't drink alcohol. If we're talking non-alcoholic beverages, it's definitely Coke Zero. I chug Coke Zero like it's nobody's business. It's probably not good for me, but I don't care. I am a fiend for soda, diet sodas in specifics. Besides that, if I go to like Starbucks, my default coffee drink is usually some sort of like vanilla latte with an extra pump or 2 of like the vanilla sweetener stuff. I like caffeine, but I don't like coffee that tastes like coffee because I don't like the way coffee tastes. So as long as coffee is like filled with like sugar and some sort of dairy product, I'm good. Yeah, definitely Coke Zero. I also like juice, but I don't drink juice very often just because it's like full of sugar. And I'm trying to avoid sugar because sugar makes my insulin spike. What is your favorite song at the moment? I'm glad it says at the moment because people will ask me like my favorite song, and I will literally like, it'll shatter me because I can't pick like a favorite song of all time. Like that's just not something that will ever happen. But favorite song at the moment, it's probably Sleep Alone by Waterparks. That's off their second album, Entertainment, and I have been like looping that on repeat for like hours and hours on end. I also really have been digging Lover of Mine from the most recent 5 Seconds of Summer album, Calm. Really good song. So those 2 I think at the moment have been like looping in my head. It's been a weird year, so people aren't really releasing new stuff, so I'm trying to think of something like more recent. Oh, WAP. I think part of the reason why I like WAP is just because it pisses people off, and I think if you write a song that has that amount of like, it draws that much vitriol out of people, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I don't even like Cardi B. I love Megan Thee Stallion, but I don't really like Cardi B. None of her other stuff has really like enticed me to want to go listen to her more. But WAP, just the way that it pissed people off, specifically like really uppity old men, really just like, it's just like, it sits hits right with my spirit. I just like, you know, anything that has that kind of impact. And I love the macaroni in a pot line because I always think of that Vine. And if you were at all familiar with Vine, you know exactly which Vine I'm talking about, but it's a good Vine. It's such a good Vine. Question number 5. This is 25 questions, by the way. I probably should have said that at the beginning, but question number 5 is, what would you or have you name your children? So I have like really complex feelings about whether or not I want to have children. Some days I'm like, hell yeah, and then like for a long time I was like, not at all. I remember as a child, for some reason, I really liked the name Tristan, and I remember like really thinking like, if I have a boy, like if I have a son, I really want to name him Tristan. I don't know why. I don't know why that name stuck with me. I just thought it was like such a beautiful name. I don't feel that way about it now, so like I don't think that's something that I'd still want to do. But that's really the only name I've ever been like this, like that has stuck with me for long enough for me to distinctly remember wanting to name a child it. I don't feel that way about it now, but I don't really have any others to offer up for this question. Number 6, have you participated in any sports? Yes, many sports. I did swimming from like ages like 2 all the way to like 14 basically. I finished all the like regular swim classes, and then I was supposed to start lifeguard training when I was 14, but then we moved to Iran, so I never did any of that stuff, which sucks because I used to be such a good swimmer. Like I did a little bit of competitive swimming, like nothing like that got me anywhere, but just like I was like on a competitive swim team just at a local community center, and I haven't swam since then, which kind of sucks. Because I loved it. I would have dreams about being a mermaid, and like, yeah, swimming used to be my shit. So I did swimming for a really long time. When I was a kid, my mom put me in basketball for several years on end because she had this like insane conspiracy theory that making me jump would somehow make me taller. It didn't work, but yeah, I did basketball for a while. I also just like done like various classes over the years that like never stuck. I've done like, it's not really, I don't know if dance qualifies as a sport, it's an exercise, but I did like various dance classes. I did taekwondo. I did judo. I did a lot. I've done a lot of sports, but really the 2 that stick out is like being for more than one like term were definitely swimming and basketball. What is your favorite book? I know like the eye roll answer is definitely Harry Potter. Harry Potter had I think like the biggest influence on me, which is like unfortunate because the writer of that series has eroded all of the goodwill that her writing that series ever formed in my heart, unfortunately. But like I still like feel very attached to my identity as a Slytherin, as stupid as that sounds, and those books were pretty formative. I loved the Animorph series as a kid. I still think those books are like the shit, very formative. Something happened to me between the ages of like 14 and like 18 that made me like unable to read books. So I haven't read a book in a really long time, so I can't really say what my favorite book is. It's not like a book I read as a child, and I also just like, I hate naming favorite anythings for like life, which is why I like that the favorite song question was, what's your favorite song right now? Because I can't think of a favorite song that's my favorite song of all time, and I also like, I struggle to name a book that's my favorite book of all time. I remember like I really like reading The Outsiders really jarred me. I think like that one stuck with me, so maybe that. Although I feel like, I don't know, does that book still hold up? I haven't read it since like in 10 years, so I don't know if it still holds up, but I hope it does, because that one really stuck with me. What is your favorite color? Oh, I can answer this one. Purple and green are my favorite colors, specifically like jewel tones, like darker, more like rich tones. Like I don't love neons. Pastel green and pastel purple are fine too, but like deep jewel toned like purples or like forest green, emerald green, stuff like that, like love those colors. Don't love neon green, but I don't hate it. But I would definitely say purple and green. Favorite colors, yes. Number 9, what is your favorite animal? This is another one of those questions I couldn't answer for a really long time because there was a lot of animals that I loved and I still love. I love big cats. Any kind of big cat is my shit. But like especially like snow leopards or like cougars, I find them very cool. But I think the honest answer to this question, like in my spirit, I know it's orcas, killer whales, whatever you want to call them. I like hyper fixated on them for a very long time. I just I learned a lot about them, and they're just like the coolest animal like in existence to me. Frankly, I think they're so smart. They very clearly have like a higher consciousness, I think, maybe compared to a lot of animals. They definitely like understand things. They have such complex like social structures. They have languages. The way they hunt is like insane to me. Like the fact that they have different hunting methods for different species, and that they can learn and like observe a species well enough to figure out how to hunt it. Like I truly think like, and I mean this, I know people have theories about why no like killer whale has like killed a person in the wild. I know some of it's just like they recognize that they are of higher consciousness, and so are we. And I think that's a cool theory. My personal theory is just like humans are not often hanging out in the water to like, it's just like where killer whales are, like just like unprotected, like flowing in the water, to the point where killer whales, orcas, whatever you want to call them, have studied them long enough to know how to hunt them. Like I fully think if we were like a species that spent lots of time like in the water to the point where killer whales were familiar with us and knew our weaknesses, they would hunt us for food. I really truly believe that, because like they take down great white sharks, and they do it because they know that they can paralyze sharks. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, they have observed these animals enough to know what their species specific weaknesses are. And I just think if orcas observed humans long enough to know what their species specific weaknesses were too, they would take us down. Like, if they have no trouble taking down like humpback whales, like if they don't have issues with them, they would take down humans as soon as they had enough time to study us and figure us out. And maybe to some people that's scary. I find that very cool. I just find their intelligence incredible. And they're just beautiful. They're beautiful creatures with such complex social structures. Orcas, man, I could go on about orcas for days. They are so cool. Like, my dream is to see one, and like just to see like a pod of orcas in the wild one day. Like, I would love to see them. Just like, not to bother them, not to like harass them. I think just to see them in their natural environment, like thriving, would probably make me cry. I just love orcas. They're so cool. They're so cool. What is your favorite perfume? I don't have a favorite perfume. I have some perfumes. I think I have like fond associations of like, probably, I don't even know, it's like, it's a Dior perfume, maybe J'adore, I don't really know. But there's like a perfume that my mom would wear a lot when I was a child. And so I smell that and I think of like being a kid and like being in her arms or whatever. So I have like fond associations with that perfume, but I don't really wear fragrances enough to have a favorite one. Mostly because if fragrances are too strong, they give me headaches. I know they give other people headaches. I know a lot of places are fragrance free, so I just like don't wear them enough to really have a favorite. But I'm also not like anti-perfume. Like, I would like to be a person that has a signature scent one day, but I am not yet that person. Question 11, what is your favorite holiday? My favorite holiday, I think, is Halloween. I love the atmosphere on Christmas. I'm not one of those like people that like gets mad about Christmas starting too early. Like, I am fine with that. I like Christmas music. I think it's really fun. I think the lights are really pretty. I love seeing Christmas trees. I love Christmas. And I think if people want to start going ham for Christmas and like as soon as Halloween is over, I am totally down. Like, I have no qualms about that. It's just festivity, right? Like, it's just joy. Like, I'm down for more joy. We don't have enough joy. If putting up some like fancy lights early and like, I don't know, putting on Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You like on repeat makes people happy, then like I'm not gonna sit around and shit on that. But I think Halloween just appeals to my like sense of like adventure. I love wearing costumes. I take Halloween very seriously. I'm very bummed about this year's Halloween because the costume I was gonna do this year, I think I'm doing it next year because the pandemic has made it impossible to accumulate everything I need for that costume. So I don't know what I'm gonna be for Halloween, which is rare for me because I always plan out my Halloween costumes like 6 months in advance and like start working on them. But this year has been kind of a flop on that note. But I love the whimsy of like everybody dresses up, people hand out candy to children will knock on doors. It's just like the mythology around Halloween is just so cute to me. We carve pumpkins, put little candles in them. It's just like the aesthetic of it is so good. The whimsy of it is so good. Just the concept is so like wholesome. Like no one has to have candy at their house for children, but we all just do it because it's fun. It's cute. It's pure. It's just a wholesome good time. And like just haunted houses, just scaring yourself for the sake of it. Candy, wearing cool costumes, like and it's socially acceptable to wear cool costumes. Like, mad respect to people that cosplay like year round, but I like that Halloween is just like, it's socially acceptable for like me as a 25-year-old to like go outside dressed up as Ursula the Sea Witch, and it doesn't get like scorned, it gets people smiling. Halloween, love it. Do your thing in costume, it's fun. I love Halloween. I think also Halloween is, I think, a holiday where you can find something no matter what. Like, even if you're like a buzzkill, there's like a Halloween party you can go get drunk at, I guess. Like, if that's your jam, you can do that. But I love Halloween. What's not to love about Halloween? What is not to love about Halloween? So number 12 is on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your childhood. This is a difficult question for me. Let's see, I want to say, what is childhood? I think the first, like, before you really remember your life. So I want to say like the first like 6 years of my life, like an 8. I think after that, I think we hovered somewhere in the 4 to 6 range, I think, for most of my childhood. I had a lot of issues, and we did a lot of moving, and I had a lot of issues with my parents, and I had a lot of mental stuff going on. So like, my childhood wasn't bad, but it's not something I would like toot as like a good childhood either. 4 to 6, somewhere in that range, ups and downs. We're gonna leave it at that. Weird, difficult question. Imagine quantifying your childhood into like a number like that. Like, can't do it. It's 4 to 6. We're gonna leave it there. Struggle. Number 13 is, have you been out of the country? Yes. So I live in Canada. As a child, we made frequent visits to Iran to visit family members, at least every like 4 years. So I've been to Iran a couple times. We also lived there for 4 or 5 years of my life, from the ages of, I want to say like 13 to 17, 18, something like that. So Iran. I've also been in various airports in Europe as stopovers as part of that. And then in terms of actual countries I visited, like outside of Canada, besides Iran, Portugal in December. And then 2 years ago, I went to the US twice one summer. It was once to see, yeah, I've been to the US a couple times actually. Cousin's wedding, to get Luna, and with my mom and my brother, we went to New York for a little bit. Yeah, I think that's it. I'd like to see more of the world though. I really want to go to Japan. My thing with Japan is I need someone who speaks the language, or even not, but just like I can't go alone not knowing the language. So that's kind of on hold. I'd also like to see more of Europe. I'd love to go to South America. I want to go to South Africa too really badly. Like I've heard Cape Town is beautiful. Anywhere, like I just want to visit like every continent at least once, I think, but we're a long way from that. And in this economy, in a global pandemic, we're not even thinking about those things. Do you speak any different languages? That's number 14. I speak English fluently, first language, whatever. My mother tongue is technically Persian / Farsi / whatever you want to call it. I can speak it well enough. I can cobble together enough to read and write, but like literally like a first or second grade level. Like it's not good, but I can speak it. So that's Farsi. I want to improve my Farsi, honestly, because it's like, I feel like as a child, I was very resentful of the fact that that was my mother tongue, and I felt like I had to spend all this extra time that other kids got to like have fun with. I had to spend like learning languages at like Persian school on the weekends, and so I like really resisted it and then didn't pick up any of that, and now I like resent it as an adult. I like, wish I was fluent in speaking it better, but also like much better at the reading and writing aspects, because like I feel like as an adult you recognize how much that stuff like links you to your culture, and as someone who has like very few ties to Iran, I think just language is one of the ones that I would like to strengthen in some way. I can also speak French. Similarly, I can read it. Sorry, there was dog hair. My French is different in sense, I think I can probably understand it and read it better than I can speak it. I get very stuttery when I speak French. My grammar is piss poor. Like, the grammar is shot to hell. But if someone's speaking French, I can understand it. I can read along French and understand it, especially like basic stuff. Maybe not like really like thick like academic stuff, definitely not. But if you give me like a French book, I could probably understand it. But the speaking is kind of like, I used to be like almost fluent in French because I lived in Quebec from the ages of 8 to like 13, but unfortunately after we moved I didn't use my French at all, and so I kind of like forgot a lot of it. So yeah, English, French, Farsi. Number 15 is, do you have any siblings? Yes, I have one brother. He's 8 years younger than me. He turns 18 in December, which is crazy and makes me like horrified down to my core because it reminds me of how old I am, and I remember when he was born. So very stressful. Number 16 is, what is your favorite store? That's an interesting question. For like what? Like grocery store, clothing store, makeup store? Like probably, this is like, for a very long time, I think the answer to this question would have been Hot Topic. I think I'm finally starting to grow out of Hot Topic a little bit, but I still like every time I go to the mall, I look at Hot Topic because like I'm an emo bitch at heart and I love to look at the band shirts, and I still like Funkos and stuff. So objectively, I think to like stay true to myself and my identity as like an emo kid forever, I want to say Hot Topic. But I also quite like Torrid because they have clothes that are both fashionable and femmy. Number 17, what is your favorite restaurant? I'm a very basic bitch. I love Italian and I love free unlimited bread. So I want to say Eastside Mario's, which is like a Canadian Italian food chain restaurant. I don't know if it's better or worse than Olive Garden, but I think it's like kind of equivalent to Olive Garden, I guess, maybe. People who know what Olive Garden is and have also been to Eastside Mario's, please feel free to correct me, but they have unlimited garlic loaf. They give you unlimited soup and salad. I used to be like obsessed with their lasagna, and they changed the recipe, which like deeply upset me, and now I get other stuff when I go there, but I love me some like generic like chain restaurant Italian food and like eating enough bread to make my stomach hurt. Number 18, did you like school? Yes, I loved school. I don't think I realized this as a child, but as an adult, I realize now that I craved the approval of authority figures to an unhealthy degree, and I think part of that was because I was chasing the approval of parents who were very bad at telling me they were proud of me, or that they thought I was doing a good job. Like everything was always an opportunity to do better. I don't think that's like uncommon, especially in immigrant families, but so I was always chasing after the approval of adults that had some sort of authority over me, like so teachers were a big one. I like really wanted to do well in school to make teachers like me. Like I never saw like why being a teacher that was a bad thing. Like I was always like, yeah, I want my teachers to like me. Like I want to be the good student. I want to be the one that's always smart and gets the right answers, because somehow like being good at school translated to them liking me, which translated into like me being worthwhile or having some sort of value. I loved school because I was naturally good at it, and I was like not disruptive in class, and I think I was just like the kind of student that teachers loved because I loved to read, and I was very like, I was perhaps annoying in that like I thought I was better than other students because I was like good at school. Which as an adult, again, I recognize it's not as simple as like me being better than them. It was like they had different strengths and weaknesses than I did. But I think I was generally always in my report cards described as a pleasure to have in class, and my grades are always good, And I think when the school system somehow works in your favor, you tend to like school. Like I don't see why you wouldn't like it if it wasn't, if it was a system that was working for you, I don't see why you wouldn't like it, right? And the school system, by and large, up until maybe like my last year, but it was a fucking breeze. So yeah, I loved school, and to this day, I really miss school. Yeah, I graduated university in 2017, and while university was not the same coast as high school and elementary school were, I still like really miss that environment. That like something about getting grades. Getting good grades is such an endorphin rush for me, because for so long that was the only like baseline measure of my worth was getting good grades, and so I miss it. I miss getting grades. I miss my entire like life and focus and validation being off of like getting a good grade, because it was easy. It was easy to attain that endorphin rush. So yeah, I liked school. I loved school. Miss school. Really miss school. Still think about going back to get my master's, but don't know if I'm gonna do that. Number 19. Who are some of your favorite YouTubers? Ooh, okay. So I mostly watch makeup YouTube and commentary YouTube, but specifically the way commentary YouTube links back to makeup YouTube. So I really like Kathleen Lights. I love Smoky Glow. I love Manny MUA. I love D'Angelo Wallace, Luke Alexander. I love the Try Guys. This is like, and then like going to, yeah, more entertainment stuff. I love the Try Guys. I love BuzzFeed Unsolved and everyone at Watcher. So Stephen Lim, Ryan Vergara, Shane Day, Alex Myers. You know that guy that is like the little like cartoon, he like watches teen shows and like rips into them like with fondness. Love his videos. In terms of like more educational stuff that's still like entertaining, I love Dr. Mike. I love Legal Eagle. I'm trying to think of who like shows up on my recommendations page. Oh, I love Samantha Ravindall. Going back to makeup, love Samantha Ravindall. Commentary channels. I love Tiffany Ferguson. I love Kelly Stamps. I found her stuff really recently. It's so good. Makeup YouTube. I love Raw Beauty Christie. I used to watch a lot of Jenna Marbles. Miss her. Christine Simply Illogical. Steffi Nygaard. I love Alyssa Ashley, Jackie Aina. I used to watch a lot of Thomas Halbert, but he hasn't posted in a while. I know he's like controversial or whatever, but I think genuinely he's trying his best, and I think I've always felt that his heart was good, so I like never unstand or whatever. Snitchery, love Snitchery. She's beautiful, and she's like, I don't know, she has like such down to earth personality. Like her videos just make me really happy. I follow a lot of band stuff on YouTube, obviously. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's just watch like random things that show up on my like page. You know what I mean? Number 20. What is your favorite movie? See, this is one of those questions I cannot answer. Like, I don't know how people have one favorite movie. I'm not like a big movie buff. I kind of have favorites I'll go back to, but then I'm also not like this is like the pinnacle of cinema. I'm always down to watch Harry Potter. I'm always down to watch like a good like animated film. Like I think animation's so fun. I saw before everything shut down, like in January or February, for my like after my birthday. I saw Jojo Rabbit and Little Women. I thought both of those films were phenomenal. So like those are definitely like the two best I've seen this year, I think. But I don't really have a favorite movie of all time. There was a summer when I was a child where I watched Shark Boy and Lava Girl every day for a whole summer, and I could like recite. I used to be able to quote that movie like word for word, the entire movie. I can't anymore, but I can still sing the like little like the little lullaby that Taylor Lautner's character sings. I still can like sing that like word for word. It's like close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream, get us out, dream, 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 and then it like goes on. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because like I don't want to embarrass myself fully on the internet, but I used to watch that a lot. 21. What are some of your favorite TV shows? Non-fiction, I love Patriot Act. I'm really sad that got canceled this year. I'm like livid about it. Also good. I don't really like reality TV that's like based in like, look at how shitty these people are. Like let's like voyeuristically like watch them be terrible and also like reward them for how terrible they are. Like I don't get that genre. Like if like you are into that, kudos to you, but it like doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel like angry, and I don't see the point in like intentionally pissing myself off. In terms of fictional shows, I don't really stan a particular fictional show right now, but I love Umbrella Academy. I think it's phenomenal. I love the comics, so like seeing the show come to life has been like an incredible experience. Love Stranger Things. I was a hardcore Supernatural stan for like years and years, and like I kind of like would go years without watching and then catch up and then watch for a bit for a season or two and then like take another break, but I'm all caught up. I'm scared but ready for the show to end. Still love it. Like even when it got bad, like even when I like didn't love it, I loved it. Like Supernatural is a very specific, important place in my heart, mostly because I love Sam Winchester with like everything in me. So Supernatural, very important to me. I used to be a Glee stan, like when Glee first started, like because I started watching Glee when it like on the 4th episode. So in 2009 or whatever year the first year of Glee was, I was a hardcore like Gleek, as the kids say. But it pissed me off after season 2, and by like season 4 I dipped out. Like I never finished 5 and 6. But Glee I used to be really into. I tried to watch Riverdale. Again, it was a show I watched from the very first episode, and the first like 6 episodes of Riverdale I think are like genuinely like phenomenal, like so good. I had such high hopes for the show, and I think like after like midway through season 1 it started to go downhill, and like but even like season 1 like it kind of held it together, but after season 2 it totally went off the rails. And I kind of want to catch up just out of like sick fascination, but I also just can't do it to myself. Like I really can't. It's like ridiculous. But yeah, like in terms of stuff I'm like genuinely like love, enjoy, I want to say Umbrella Academy, Stranger Things. Loved the Netflix series of Unfortunate Events adaptation. That was so good. Supernatural, I think even though the quality isn't what it used to be, I think it's genuinely still like an enjoyable show. Like maybe that's controversial, but there's a reason why I always come back to it, and there's a reason I want to finish the show and go out with it is because I genuinely do still love it a lot. Yeah, there are other shows I watch, but nothing really comes to mind. I never watch like the really big like pop culture phenomenon shows like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead. Like I never watched any of that, so I don't know, maybe I'm missing out, but maybe I'm not. Number 22, PC or Mac. I was a PC bitch for like my whole life, but then when I went to university, I needed to get a new laptop, and the recommendation from my university was they preferred for people to have Mac laptops because all of the program, like all the software we're gonna use and all the computers used in our labs for TV and radio classes were Mac softwares. So all the journalism computers we had at school were Apple computers, so their preference was for us to be familiar with Apple operating systems and all that. So when I went to university in 2013, I got a MacBook, and then I've been using MacBooks ever since. My editing computer's an iMac, and then when I go to work, we had Dells, I think for the first year I worked there, but then we switched to Apple there too. So like I'd say pretty consistently for the past 7 years I've been a Mac person, and I do generally prefer it, but I do miss that. Like I used to love playing computer games as a child, and you can't really do that on Macs, so I do miss that. And I kind of, part of me is like, save money, get a gaming computer, but it's not really like a priority right now, or something I can justify. So I would say I think both have pros and cons. Like when it comes to phones, I have a very clear preference, but when it comes to PC and Mac, I can see why you'd want either one depending on what you do with it. What phone do you have? So this is my phone, this is my case. I got the case off Redbubble. Again, has killer whales and other whales on it because I love whales and dolphins and all that. But my phone is an iPhone XS that I got right after it came out. The phone I had before that was a 5S, and I had that for like 5 years. So I was due for an upgrade. I've had this one for almost 2 years now. So, or has it been 2 years? I think it might have been 2 years now actually. It's a good phone, gets the job done. I really am. When it comes to like Apple versus Android, I really do prefer Apple. I just find them easier to use. I'm not like a complicated tech person. Like I know people tell me like Androids are so customizable, they're so this, so that. I don't care. I like pretty things, and I find just like the user interface on Apple is much nicer. It's straightforward, it makes sense in my brain. It's what I have been using for, again, 7 years now. I don't see any reason to change it. Number 24, how tall are you? I have a very long torso. So when people who have never met me, if they meet me when I'm sitting down, they always think I'm really tall, and then I sit up and they realize I have really short legs. So yeah, I am 5'0" and a half inch. I'm very short. I'm not even 5'1". I'm a very tiny person, very small. I used to be really insecure about it, and now I've kind of embraced it. I think it's like interesting. You know what I mean? Everyone's always like, you are so little, and it used to be like kind of upsetting, and now I'm kind of like, yeah, I am little. I am small. You can tuck me under your arm. I'm fun sized. I'm little. I can hide behind things. I'm short. Going to concerts fucking sucks, man. General admission is a nightmare, but it's cute, I think, allegedly. And then number 25, the last question is, do you have any pets? Yes, I have a dog. She's 2 years old. She's a Shiloh Shepherd. Her name is Luna. I will insert a picture in this video, hopefully, because she doesn't want to be on camera. She's very camera shy. She's not very, anytime I take my phone to take a photo of her, she like knows, like if I'm photoing or taking video, like, and she'll call me out on it. So I can't really show her to you now. I have a dog. Love her. She's huge. She's the best. She's kept me sane in quarantine. Love of my life is my dog Luna. I love her so much. Yeah, that's my only pet. If I ever get in a place financially where I can have more than one animal, I would like to get a cat, because I prefer dogs, but I'm not like one of those like dog people that's like, cats are evil. Like I love dogs and cats almost equally. I have like a slight preference for dogs, but not enough to like be like, I never have a cat. Cats are fun, you know what I mean? You can pick them up, And there are dogs you can pick up, but with dogs, I'm always like, if I can have a dog that's big enough to like kill me if it wanted to, but it doesn't want to because it loves me, like why wouldn't I want that? Like why wouldn't I want a dog that I could ride into battle, like hypothetically? So I feel like if you're gonna get a dog, get a big dog. If you're gonna get a small animal, get a little cat. Get a little cat friend. So that was the get to know me tag off of this random website that I found. It was just an excuse for me to like do a video with makeup and with my hair looking pretty if I do say so myself. If you are a friend watching this, I hope any of this was informative to you, and if you are a stranger, cool. I hope you got to know me a little bit and that made you want to stick around. If it did, you can comment down below, you can like this video. I would love for you to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. I'm very active on there these days for some reason, and follow me on Instagram. I'm less active there, but I would still love to see you. I post videos every Wednesday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!